Recording. Got it. Okay. So, hi everyone. As I've been sharing tonight, my name is Cheyenne Chernov. I am a national marketing director with the Juice Plus company and had the awesome pleasure of being with this company for the past 16 years. In my first life, I was an artist, a teacher, and now I'm a health coach. And I share Juice Plus with everybody I meet. My husband, Arthur, and I have been married for 53 years. We live in South Florida in a beautiful community in Delray Beach. And we have one son who is currently traveling throughout Eastern Europe. But tonight, it's not about me. It's really about our amazing company and our wonderful speaker that has an incredible presentation to share very important information with you tonight. First, a little bit about our company. So in 1970, Jay Martin, our founder, started the NSA company with a mission to bring to the marketplace the truly important products to enhance our lives. He started with smoke detectors for the home, then air and water filtration. And in the 1990s, he introduced the Juice Plus family of products. From that point forward, and for the last 53 years, we have been the leading company that still promotes our message of inspiring healthy living around the world. Today, we're in over 30 countries with our products and partnerships in our business. The Juice Plus product line and our Tower Garden technology is recognized around the world. In addition, Jay put into place an opportunity to engage individuals from all walks of life to align with us, promote our wonderful product line, and have their work compensated for their efforts. So please don't be bashful about exploring this further with the person that invited you to join us tonight. I'm so grateful that I was introduced to it, and I think you will be too. So as your host this evening, I have the pleasure of introducing my friend and partner, Ana Quiroga, tonight. Ana is a functional medicine practitioner. She is a nutritionist, a yoga instructor, and Reiki master. 6 years ago, my friend and buddy, Jay Joy Vidovsky, had the good fortune of meeting Ana and invited her to take a peek at our products and our business opportunity. We are truly blessed to have Ana as part of our team and company. She's an amazing spirit and has so much to share with us tonight about her journey with Hashimoto's and how Juice Plus has had a huge impact in her healing. So Ana, we're so excited to hear your story, and take it away, honey.
Thank you. Thank you, Cheyenne, for that introduction. Thank you for inviting me to speak today, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for connecting to learn about this topic that I am so passionate about, thyroid health and my journey with Hashimoto's. But let me tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm, like Cheyenne said, Ana Quiroga from 108 Wellness is my company that I founded in 2016. I'm a wife and a mother of 2 athlete girls. Most of my studies were done in Asia. I was certified in Ayurvedic medicine, yoga instructor, and Reiki master when I lived in Singapore. And then I studied nutrition and functional medicine at FM University, and then Chinese medicine and Qigong while living in Shanghai. 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to work in China in a wellness retreat, designing detox programs, weight management, immune system, meditation, yoga programs. And currently, I have my practice in Washington, D.C., serving patients with hormonal issues, autoimmune, thyroid, stress, weight issues. And my main focus is on 3 detox programs, one for individuals, another one for social, like group of friends, and for corporations. So what I'm going to share with you today is it comes from the point of view of functional medicine. In functional medicine, we see the relationship between all the body systems, because in the end, the body works together holistically. In functional medicine, we address the root cause rather than the symptoms. So the importance of thyroid gland, the thyroid gland. Well, in the US, 1 in 5 Americans have hypothyroidism, and only half of them even know about it. And 90% of these hypothyroidism cases are Hashimoto's, and we will explain one by one. But first of all, what is the thyroid gland? The thyroid gland is a small butterfly-shaped organ that sits horizontally against the base of our neck. This important gland produces thyroid hormones, which are vital for several critical functions throughout the body, like it regulates the heart rate, the breathing, metabolism, blood pressure, menstrual cycle, temperature. Actually, there is not a single cell in the body that doesn't depend on the thyroid hormones in some way. In other words, trouble here can lead to trouble just anywhere in the body. And throughout a complex change of chemical reactions, the thyroid gland produces thyroid hormones, which are distributed through the body for its use. The problem starts when there is too much thyroid hormone, what we call hyperthyroidism, or too little production of this hormone that we call hypothyroidism. And each of these conditions can cause different symptoms. For example, hypothyroidism, we have a sluggish metabolism leading to weight gain, fatigue, forgetfulness, cold intolerance, depression, dry skin, constipation, hair loss, especially if you start losing hair from these, your eyebrows, from the side of your eyebrows, joint pain, weakness. In contrast, hyperthyroidism, the metabolism is faster. So there is weight loss, palpitations, anxiety, tremors in your hands, irritability, heat intolerance, fatigue as well, and hair loss. They share both symptoms. Okay, so these conditions can turn into an autoimmune disease. In the case of hypothyroidism, it's called Graves' disease. In the case of hypo, it's called Hashimoto's. And it has that name because it was a Japanese doctor with the name Hashimoto's that discovered it. And we are going to focus today on Hashimoto's because, as you saw, that's a condition that 97% of the population suffers from. In Hashimoto's, the thyroid gland is not sluggish, as we saw in hypothyroidism. Rather, the immune system identifies the thyroid cells as foreign or harmful substances and develops antibodies to attack these cells. And these attacks leads to inflammation and damage of the cells that produce the thyroid hormones. And Hashimoto's has a unique set of symptoms. For example, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, where you feel bloated, you feel that everything you eat it upsets your stomach. Hypochlorhydria, this is a low production of gastric acid in the stomach. So many people that with Hashimoto's also become anemic, but because they're not producing enough acid gastric in the stomach. Other symptoms are allergy, rashes, food sensitivities, maybe to gluten, dairy, bloating, nutrient deficiencies, especially vitamin D is very common, zinc and magnesium. And then carpal tunnel syndrome. This is the area when you feel pain in the area between the thumb, index, and the wrist. This could be your thyroid. Sometimes we think it's because we text too much and we have this pain, but it could be your thyroid. Then problems in the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are these triangle-shaped organs on top of our kidneys that produce vital hormones like cortisol, the stress hormone, or sex hormones. But now let's see, how does these Hashimoto's and other autoimmune conditions develop? And many years ago, we thought that our genes were our destiny. For example, if your mom has, I don't know, cancer or diabetes, well, you would have those cancer genes and you would probably get cancer. Luckily, now there is this new science called epigenetics that tells us that our genes are no longer our destiny. Epigenetics has shown us that we have the power over our genes, that they could adjust or express differently according to our life choices. And I love the way this Dr. Alessio Fasano explains autoimmunity. He's a world-renowned autoimmunity expert, and he describes it like a three-legged stool. You need three things to have the stool stable. No, if one of the legs is broken, that stool is not stable. The same happens with an autoimmune condition. We need three things, and these three things is one, the genes. Well, with the genes we cannot do anything, but these other two depend on us to turn on those genes or to leave them there quiet. So the second one is triggers like toxins in the environment, toxins of the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, the water that we drink. That's why it's so important to eat as organically as we can. Then parasites is another trigger, parasites, viruses, bacteria, especially H. pylori is very common. Intolerance to certain foods, poor gut health, microbiome that everyone talks about now. We need to feed our good bacteria. This is why it's so important to consume good probiotics and prebiotics to feed those probiotics. Nutrient deficiencies, important to eat a diet rich in nutrients. And the third one is leaky gut, intestinal permeability. And what is leaky gut? So imagine that the lining of our gut, the lining of our gut looks like a cheesecloth with very tight junctions. And when we eat things that are inflammatory, let's say gluten or dairy, or you have antibiotics, or genetically modified foods or processed sugars, these things come into this lining and they start making holes, like little fissures, opening these tight junctions. And the food or the substances that should have stayed in the gut, in the intestine, they start leaking to the bloodstream. That's why the term leaky gut. And then the autoimmune system says, what is that shouldn't be there, that harmful particle? So it starts creating antibodies to attack these foreign things. And that's how we develop an autoimmune condition. So now what I'm going to show you is how to control these two. If you have the genes, that's okay, especially with thyroid or any thyroid conditions, Hashimoto's, it runs with within the family with the mother. If your mom has, you might have. If you have, check your daughters. And then let's say once you have all these symptoms, what lab tests do we need to be diagnosed? And the first thing is a complete thyroid panel, because most of the times we only get checked our TSH, but we also need the free T4, free T3, reverse T3, and very important, the antibodies, TPO and TGB. And this I say it because it has happened to me in some practices, the doctors will only do TSH and they will tell you, no, let's wait to see if your TSH becomes normal. We don't need to do the antibodies, and not necessarily. Sometimes our TSH is normal and our antibodies can be elevated. And this means that there's already an autoimmune condition going on. Then we need the sugar levels and the lipid panel as well, both panels. And it's very common when you have Hashimoto's that you have high cholesterol. So that's why it's very important to have full lipid panel. And then from vitamins and minerals that are key in converting T4 to T3, because we produce, our thyroid hormone produces T4, but this T4 needs to be converted into T3. And sometimes we cannot convert it because of toxins, because of alcohol, because of stress, because of caffeine, many other things. So here I recommend ferritin, vitamin D, and B12. And once you get your results, then it's time to check the results, the ranges. And we have the standard reference ranges and the optimal or functional ranges. So if you can see on the screen, the TSH, the range is broad, really broad. It goes from 0.4 to 5.5. And why is this range so broad? Because they take a media of the whole population that it smokes, drinks sodas, doesn't do any exercise, eats junk food, and of course we have this huge range, but we are not all that population. We need to be in the functional, in the optimal range where we are going to feel our best, and that's 0.5 to 2. Actually, the Endocrine Association from the US has already fixed these ranges, but many labs haven't changed them yet. And the same happens to the antibodies. As you can see, in the optimal range, you need to have less than 2. So between 0 and 2. So if you already have Hashimoto's, if you already have hypothyroidism, check your labels, your ranges. And sometimes it has happened to me that I have patients coming to me that they say, no, well, I have all these symptoms. I went to my doctor, but my TSH is in 3. So he tells me I don't have anything. Everything is normal, but this person has all the symptoms. Well, as you can see, 3 is already above. So it's, of course, that means that you already have a thyroid condition. And then it comes the medication. There are different types of medication. We have a T4, that's the levothyroxine. Levothyroxine is the generic. It has many other different names, Synthroid or Unithroid. But like I told you, our thyroid only produces T4. So some people with this levothyroxine, they don't feel well yet because they are not converting properly to T3. So here I recommend the natural desiccated thyroid medication, because this is made out of pig's thyroid gland. It is proven that the thyroid gland of the pigs are very similar to the thyroid gland of the humans. So they make this medication that you can find it different names, Armor, WP thyroid, MP thyroid, and they have the combination of T3, T4. And these ones, most of the times work better for patients with Hashimoto's or even hypothyroidism. Or you can have, if you have access to a compound pharmacy, you can also go there and they create your own dosage. So now I want to share with you, I have my story. I have Hashimoto's. First, I was diagnosed in 2003 after my first pregnancy with hypothyroidism. And this is very common after a pregnancy because there is a big hormonal change going through. So it's common to get it. And I started with medication, levothyroxine. And even though I was with this medication, I was always bloated, extremely tired, losing a lot of hair. And well, the doctor will tell me your TSH levels are normal, keep with your medication. Then 2 years after, my second daughter was born and I kept putting on weight. My metabolism was even slower, fatigue increased. It didn't matter how many hours I slept. I would wake up tired all the time. Even my husband will joke and say, I only have wife from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. because with you, I cannot count for everything. And you always get us fall asleep when we watch a movie. You are so boring. And really, I had to deal with this for 10 years because it was impossible to get this energy because, as you saw, the thyroid regulates the whole system. The thyroid regulates the metabolism. So there was no gas. It's like gas to a car, the thyroid for our body. So I had no gas in my body to do anything. 10 years after, I moved back to Florida after living in Singapore. And when I went to the doctor, had my thyroid checked, my thyroid levels were okay within the ranges, but I was still feeling all these symptoms. So the doctor told me, continue, maybe you're stressed, it's in your head. And I was, no, I'm not stressed, I'm a yogi, I promise you I'm not stressed, but I kept living like this for 1 more year. And the following year, when I had my annual checkup, everything looked normal, but I was curious to see the difference between the previous exam and this year's exam. So when I saw the previous year's exam, I carefully read it and I saw that my antibodies were in the 3,000s. As you saw, I told you they had to be from 0 to 2, and I had 3,000, and no one told me. So I went furious with the doctor and I said, but I have Hashimoto's and you never told me. And he said, well, we treat Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism the same way. And I was, no, excuse me, I have an autoimmune condition. It's very different. That's why I'm feeling all this way, no? But he told me, you know what? There's something else that came up in your lab test that concerns me more. Your white blood cells are very low. So let's test them again in 3 months. And in 3 months, they were even lower. And he said, let's give it a try 1 more month. And after 1 more month, even lower. So he told me, you know what? I think you have beginning of leukemia. And I was, oh my God. So he sent me to Cleveland Clinic to see an oncologist. And I remember sitting down there waiting for my turn and seeing these women without hair or with their wigs going through treatment. And I thought, life is so ironic. I just moved from Singapore, where I used to work in a hospital with cancer patients, helping them with Reiki sessions, yoga therapy sessions, breathing sessions. And I learned so much from them. I changed my diet. I was thinking it's 100% anti-inflammatory. I don't put any chemicals on my skin. I don't dye my hair. There's no cancer in my family. So what happened here? Maybe, well, God sent this to me for a reason. So I get for my appointment with the doctor, and the doctor tells me, you don't have leukemia. What you have is a severe anemia. And she gave me a supplement, iron, and she told me, goodbye, see you in 6 months. Take this supplement. So I was very frustrated. I said, that's it. I need to go to see a functional medicine doctor to know the root, to know the reason of all these things. And when I go to the functional medicine doctor, he explained to me, of course, it's one of the symptoms, as I just showed you, of Hashimoto's. You are not producing enough gastric acids in your stomach. You are eating very well, very healthy, but you are not absorbing anything. So he gave me a supplement to retrain my stomach to start producing these gastric acid. So I start recovering my white blood cells, starting going up. But then I got very curious about all these things that I was learning with him. So I started reading, and I would come up and say, you know, doctor, I found that if I have these bacteria in the gut, I cannot lower my antibodies, for example. So we would do the test, and it came out positive. I have H. pylori. So we did the protocol, and then I kept on reading. I would come, then I read this. So one day you told me, you know what? You have shown me so much about thyroid and Hashimoto's, because that's all you've been doing, reading about this. So why don't you come and work with me? I'll do the diagnosis, and you start doing all the protocols you have been doing for yourself to put your condition into remission. And that's what I started doing in 2015. And but I said, I want to study the same. So that's when I studied functional medicine. And today I can say that I put my condition into remission. I feel the strongest and healthiest at now that I'm 50 years old than when I was 35. And I want to share with you my journey, what I did to put my condition into remission, because I need to tell you that an autoimmune condition cannot be cured, but you can put it into remission. And remission means different things for everyone. Lowering your antibodies from, like in my case, from 3,000 to 100 means putting into remission. I will never have them in zero, because I will always have Hashimoto's, but I don't have high antibodies. I don't have the symptoms anymore. So this is what I want to share with you. I am so passionate about sharing with other people, helping other people feel the way I feel now, because I used to feel terrible, and I can understand the way you are feeling if you are suffering from this. So we need to address different things. Healing or putting Hashimoto's into remission is not easy. There's not magic pill, and there's not a quick fix. It's a journey. So we need to address stress, toxins to help the liver detoxify properly. We need to heal the gut, and we need to address nutrient deficiencies. So first, remove toxins. Like I told you, we have toxins everywhere, even on the products that we put on our skin. So we need to be very careful what we put on our skin. And the toxins like to live in the fatty tissue. So if we don't flush out those toxins, like with a cleanse, it's very difficult sometimes to lose weight. I have many people coming to me, I eat healthy, I do exercise, and I cannot lose weight. So I asked them, have you done a cleanse, a juice cleanse? No, I haven't. Well, we need to put all these, it's like putting Drano to your gut and just flushing out everything. So from this, I created a 4-week holistic detox program where we remove everything that's inflammatory, like gluten, dairy, alcohol, caffeine, processed sugars. Then the second week, we have a juice cleanse, consists of 7 days of juices and soups. Each juice has specific combination of ingredients that will help you detoxify the liver, the kidneys, the pancreas, everything. It's like I told you, putting Drano to your system, flushing out all the toxins. The third week, we start introducing very little by little each food group. Once our system is so clean, it reacts very quickly to any new food group we introduce. And the fourth one, we talk about the detox of the mind, because stress is a toxin, and all the products that we put on our skin. The benefits that you can feel after a detox could be more energy, sleep better, reduce inflammation, weight loss, speed up your metabolism. It's like a reboot to your metabolism. Then we need to heal our gut. Our gut is so important to the overall function of the body. Gut health has an impact on our sleep, mental health, energy levels, our digestion. And our gut is it's where all these trillions of beneficial microbes live, no? That form our microbiota. And now we know that having an unbalance, what is called dysbiosis, when the bad guys are more than the good ones, that's when we have a dysbiosis. So that's when we need to heal our gut, because if we don't do it, this creates chronic inflammation that can lead to leaky gut, to insulin resistance, hypertension, diabetes, etc. So we need to feed our gut microbiome with probiotics like kimchi, miso, tofu, kombucha, sauerkraut, tempeh, natto. Then put prebiotics to feed those probiotics like garlic, onions, artichokes, asparagus, dandelion root is excellent. Then remove all processed sugars and foods that can harm the microbiome. Avoid allergens and food intolerances, triggers like gluten, genetically modified products, vegetable oils. Vegetable oils are super inflammatory, especially all those canola, corn, those vegetable oils, throw them away. Add anti-inflammatory foods like berries, turmeric, leafy greens. Add healthy foods, avocado, healthy fats, avocados, coconut oil, nuts and seeds, olive oil. And when we see nuts and seeds, there's a tricky part here. If you eat nuts and seeds that are roasted or fried in those vegetable oils that are inflammatory, it doesn't work. So always look for nuts and seeds that are raw, 100% raw. No inflammatory oils. And then collagen. Remember I told you about these tight junctions that the lining of our gut has. Well, those fissures, those little holes that create when we have leaky gut, we can heal them or seal them with collagen. So bone broth, I recommend bone broth, and bone broth is it's excellent. It's amazing all the benefits that it has for the immune system and to heal the gut. And it has been used for many, many years in China, in Asia. Now it's like we discover it from on this side of the world. And then manage our stress. No, more and more research shows that chronic stress impacts the body both physically and mentally in ways similar to poor diet, lack of sleep, or a sedentary life. It's incredible. And chronic stress can lead us to so many diseases like heart disease, diabetes, even cancer. So let's face it, stress, the stress that we have, it's not going anywhere. We can't always control the sources of stress in our lives, but we can change how we react to them. So I recommend exercise that creates endorphins, that are mood lifters, yoga for that mind-body connection. It will help you sleep better, reduce anxiety. Meditation will give you our peace of mind. Breathing exercises, mindfulness, being aware, being present. And here I teach mindful eating in my holistic detox, because how many times we see ourselves eating in front of the TV or in front of the computer, and we don't even know what we're putting inside our mouths. But what if next time you eat, you really use your 5 senses? You start looking at your plate and see all those colors, beautiful colors, the decoration, you smell your meal, you put it in your mouth, feel the texture, and then you swallow it. You feel the taste. That's mindfulness. That's being present. That's meditation. That's going to give you all the benefits of a meditation practice. And then address nutrition deficiencies. And starting with macronutrients, carbs, fats, and proteins. And I like to put emphasis in proteins because honestly, not all of us eat enough protein. Enough protein has many benefits, but one of them is to create muscle, and muscle makes us burn fat. So if you are one person that wants to have a lean body type, you need to eat enough protein. And a very simple way to calculate your daily amount is to multiply then your kilos times 1.2 will give you the minimum amount of grams, and then your weight in kilos times 2, it will give you the maximum. So let's say someone that weighs 60 kilos times 1.2 is 62 grams, 60 kilos times 2, it's 120. So we get in between 72 and 120, let's say 90 grams. So 90 grams, you need 90 grams per day. Divided in 3 meals, we have 30, 30, 30. During lunch and dinner, it's easy. It's easier to get to 30 grams. Let's say if you eat animal protein, salmon, let's say one salmon or chicken, it will have a piece of chicken will have between 28 and 30 grams per piece. So that's easy, but breakfast is trickier. It's more difficult. So let's say one egg, for example, has only 6 grams of protein. So you need to be conscious in adding more things to your breakfast so you reach your daily amount. And then the micronutrients, vitamins that we need for energy productions in immune function, minerals that we need for growth, bone health, fluid balance. And this is the way I was able to address my nutrient deficiency with Juice Plus. So Juice Plus is concentrated whole food-based nutrition from more than 30 fruits, veggies, berries, grains, and we have omegas as well, 100% vegan, no artificial colors, non-GMO produce, no sweeteners, gluten-free, even kosher. And I love these omegas because they're vegan. Do you know that fish have omegas because they eat the algae? Actually, because they eat the algae. So Juice Plus skipped the fish and went to the root to produce these omegas. The algae, this true source of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, with additional omega fatty acids, a blend from pomegranate seeds, sea buckthorn berries, raspberry seeds, tomato seeds, and safflower seeds. And I also consume the complete shakes because for me, it's very easy to reach my protein requirements in my breakfast, for example. We have different shakes. We have the chocolate shake, complete shake that will give you 13 grams of protein. And then we have the berry that has more 25 grams per serving. So I have to tell you that when my dear friend Joy introduced me to Juice Plus, I was very skeptical. I was going to try it for me, but I said, I don't know if I would recommend it to my patients yet. I need to do more research. And when I saw that all the research done on Juice Plus, I said, wow, this is too good to be true. It's really the most truly researched brand name in nutritional product available today. It has more than 40 independent clinical studies published in peer-reviewed scientific journals, conducted by researchers at leading hospitals and universities all over the world. They have studies in Japan, the UK, Australia, Germany, Canada, US, Australia, etc. And showing a wide range of benefits in cardiovascular health, chronic inflammation, lung health, skin health, weight management, immune function, and many more. So when I tried for myself and I saw that my energy levels were coming back, that I really woke up with energy. I didn't even remember what was waking up with energy. I felt like it was when I was 20 that I was going to university and working, and I used to live in Mexico and it was all the traffic. So really, really my energy came back. My hair stopped falling off. My metabolism got faster. I was able to lose weight easier. So many benefits that I saw my skin with Juice Plus. So that's when I decided, okay, now I'm ready to share it with my patients. And I love it because I was comfortable in sharing it with them because it's just food. It's food. It's actually has a food label. It's not a multivitamin. Multivitamins are artificially done in a lab. They isolate vitamin A, B, C. They put it in a capsule, on a pill. They glue all these artificial vitamins and glue them in a pill. And to glue them, sometimes they have to put toxic fillers. And actually, there are some labs that do research, and they research different supplement companies, and they get these annual reports where they say, okay, this supplement company put such and such toxic fillers in their products. Or they put on this company on the label reads that it has 100 grams of turmeric and inside has 30. Well, Juice Plus has this certification that's called NSF, that it's a third-party certification that what's on the label is exactly what's in the product. What's in the product, it's on the label. The industry of supplements, it's so huge, it's so big, and it's not regulated like the medications regulated by FDA. So that's why companies can put whatever they want on their labels. But Juice Plus that has this certification that makes me very comfortable to share it with my patients, because I know I'm sharing something that's really good quality. And very simple, I just call it, it's a salad in a capsule. When they ask me what's Juice Plus, it's a salad, a concentrated salad in a capsule. And some of my patients come and say, but I eat enough fruits and vegetables. I sometimes eat 2-3 portions. And I say, okay, this is the $1 million question. How many servings of fruits and vegetables should we consume a day? And according to the experts, the recommended amount is between 7 and 13 servings per day. And if you are a high-performing athlete, between 16 and 18. Imagine, we would need to chew all day long. And the reason these portions have been increasing, I don't know if you remember, but maybe many years ago, it was 5 to 7, then 7 to 9, and now we are in 13. And this is because our soil is so depleted from nutrients that, let's say, 1 pound of spinach from today doesn't have the same nutritional density that this same pound of spinach from 5-10 years ago. So that's why these portions have been increasing. And also we need all the colors of the rainbow, because we cannot just have, I eat a lot of vegetables, but I only like these tomatoes and strawberries. No, all these colors, because all these reds, all these oranges, purples, greens, yellows, have inside all these colorful pigments, there are powerful phytonutrients that have millions and millions of anti-inflammatory antioxidants that work in synergy. Let me share with you other supplements that will help with your thyroid. I also recommend. So I also recommend selenium, that will help you reduce your antibodies and anxiety. And we need selenium for that production of a conversion of T4. Then zinc, because remember I told you these tight junctions are fortified with zinc. And let me tell you, if you are a person that's always suffering chronic stress, well, chronic stress, we saw it creates leaky gut. And why? Because our adrenals, this triangle shape that we have on top of our kidneys, to create cortisol, the hormone of stress, need to suck zinc from these tight junctions. So obviously these tight junctions start opening when you have stress because of that zinc. So I recommend you take zinc to fortify those tight junctions. Then magnesium has more than 300 functions in the body, but it helps us, if you take it at night, it will help you relax your nervous system, your muscles, it will help you sleep better. Then vitamin D3, it helps us for our immune system, and you know Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition. It's good for the bones, the brain, and the heart. And then ashwagandha is an adaptogen herb used in Ayurvedic medicine that helps with stress, balance cortisol levels, and increase energy as well. And to finalize, I would like to remind everyone that food is not just medicine to your body. Food is information to your cells too. So why would you not invest in giving your body the right quantity and variety of nutrients in such a simple way? I've been consuming and recommending Juice Plus in my practice for almost 7 years. I love being part of a company that has been inspiring healthy living around the world for 53 years now. Juice Plus is present in 30 countries. I'm very excited that Mexico, my home country, is going to celebrate its 3rd anniversary in September. Before, I used to take all the products. I was living in Florida, and I would carry with all my juice plus to see my mother and to take it to my brother, but now they can get it there. So very happy. And also I have patients that join my detox program from the Netherlands, Spain, UK, Canada, Australia, that can get juice plus there and benefit from it. I have met beautiful, beautiful people through this company, and I feel very, very proud that the Hispanic market here in the US is growing tremendously too. So I leave you here all my contact information. If you have any questions about thyroid conditions, Hashimoto, autoimmune conditions, hormone conditions, please let me know, reach out. Thank you, Cheyenne, so much for inviting me to speak today. It was a pleasure sharing my journey with you. And well, I don't know if you have final words.
Anna, thank you. I mean, you cannot believe the amount of messages that came through thanking you for this amazing presentation and sharing your truth, your journey with all of us. And one thing that Anna did not say is that she's writing a book. So as soon as that book comes out, we'll share it with everybody. Thank you so much, Anna, for sharing your story with us. We're all enriched by it. If anybody has any questions, you could send your questions directly to Anna. The recording will be posted on our recording page. And thank you so much. We could unmute and have everybody say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna.
That was
Thank
all.
you,
Anna.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
So much. Wonderful.
God bless.
Fabulous.
Muchas
Amazing.
gracias.
Great information.
Thank you.
Great job.
you.
Thank you, Anna.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Muchas
It was
gracias.
wonderful.
Muchas gracias.
Wonderful.
Huh?
Just
Oh.
gracias.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you so much.
You too.
Wonderful
Bye-bye.
presentation. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Night, everybody. We'll see
Thank you so much, Anna. That was fantastic.
Oh, thank you for
Excellent.
joining.
Excellent.
I cannot wait to share it with everyone I know.
Mm.
Excellent, perfect.
God, she's 54, did she say?
Beautiful. Thank you all. We're going to end tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. And anybody who is somebody that invited you to this call, please get with them and find out more about our amazing company and what we have to offer. Our arms are open, and we're looking forward to welcoming you to our team and business. You're in the right place, and we would love you to join us. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye. Good night.
All right.